Should you get an electric vehicle or a hybrid? Is it smarter to bet the farm on team battery, or do you still want a little combustion in your life? Well, up next we'll explain the benefits and downsides of each to help you decide which type of vehicle to buy. At the end, I'll have a question for you, so make sure to stick around. So, EV versus hybrid. Paradoxically, these powertrain technologies are closely related, yet they still have significant differences and consequently unique strengths and weaknesses. Which one is right for you? Well, it depends on what you need. Electric vehicles offer a huge range of benefits over traditional combustion-powered cars and trucks, as well as hybrids, though for some drivers, they also have some deal-breaking downsides. For starters, EVs are way more efficient. You're not wasting most of the energy in a gallon of gasoline by just turning it into heat. Electrics are almost always cheaper to run and by a wide margin, plus you can refuel right at home. They also provide instant torque for punchy getaways, and they have dramatically fewer moving parts, so there's less to break or go wrong. Additionally, EVs have greatly reduced maintenance requirements and produce zero tailpipe emissions, which is better for the environment. Now, yes, there are other factors to consider regarding emissions, which is why we did a whole separate video about how clean electric vehicles really are, so click up top to watch that feature next. Of course, EVs aren't perfect. They can take a long time to charge, and America's public charging infrastructure is, well, it's not great. Cold weather can dramatically reduce driving range, EVs can be expensive, and lastly, batteries do degrade over time, though this problem does get blown out of proportion. Now, in comparison, hybrids, which have a conventional engine that burns fuel as well as a battery pack and an electric motor or motors, address many of the downsides associated with EVs, though they also lack many of the benefits. Hybrids, either conventional or plug-in, can be more affordable to purchase than EVs since their battery packs are nowhere near as massive or expensive. These automotive chimeras also tend to be extremely efficient, though nowhere near as economical as EVs. Hybrids are also quick to refuel, and you can drive right across the country without ever having to plug in. When it comes to downsides, conventional hybrids have extremely limited all-electric range, maybe just a mile or two because they're not really built for running as pure EVs. Plug-in hybrids, however, can drive much greater distances on battery power, but still nowhere near as far as a pure electric. Hybrids are more complex than EVs because they basically have two powertrains, combustion and electric. These vehicles also have greater maintenance requirements, oil changes, spark plug replacements, air filter checks, all of that fun stuff. And finally, hybrids still burn fossil fuels, so they're far more polluting than EVs. Now that we've outlined the advantages and disadvantages of hybrids and electrics, let's see which is best for you. And I'll be honest, EVs are probably a better option for many drivers these days, especially as battery technology improves and vehicle range increases. Still, you should consider an electric vehicle if you rarely drive long distances, you want to charge at home, you live in a warm climate where the range won't be reduced by cold temperatures, you want a car or truck that's as clean as possible, and you want to minimize vehicle maintenance. Conversely, consider a hybrid vehicle if you have range anxiety or are worried about a dead battery, you live in a cold region, you regularly drive long distances and don't want to deal with DC fast charging, which can be unreliable, or you're just leery of EVs and aren't quite ready to make the leap. Plug-in hybrids are a particularly good stepping stone between combustion and electric because they give you the flexibility and quick refueling of an engine with a generous amount of electric range, maybe even enough to get you to work and home again without burning a drop of fuel. So there you have it. Consider an electric or hybrid for your next vehicle. Which do you think you'll choose when it's time to get a new car? Well, tell me in the comments below and let us know if there are any advantages or disadvantages we didn't consider in this video. Now, both are great choices with plenty of significant benefits. In fact, each powertrain technology is a huge improvement over traditional internal combustion. Next up, watch this episode of EV Basics all about the do's and don'ts of electric vehicle charging. Have you committed any of these faux pas? I certainly hope not.